Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic: what was the greatest pleasure you ever felt? When they gave me morphine and several bags of fluid to flush out a kidney stone, the instant relief combined with the morphine euphoria, sweet baby Jesus. Edit, my highest upvoted Reddit ever. One sentence about dope and kidney stones, thanks for coming through for me, internet. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm a recovering heroin addict, and heroin is still the best feeling I've ever felt. You could have told me that my family died in a car accident 30 seconds after I injected my hit and I wouldn't have reacted or cared. That's why heroin is so fucking dangerous. It makes you not care about anything but getting your next hit. I absolutely will not miss the stress of getting my next fix though. I got to a point, eventually, where I feel better as just a regular, sober person who's not interested in getting his next fix, than a person who has to stress the fuck out about getting their dealer to respond and going through extremely painful withdrawals. Good to hear you're doing better. This random internet stranger is so proud of you. 3. I got a morphine shot into an 4 line. It was that moment that I understood why morphine was a controlled substance. I had never felt that level of chemical bliss since. This was around 15 years ago and I remember it like yesterday. Had a similar morphine experience after a motorcycle accident in 2013. They administered morphine through an 4 and I instantly loved everyone and everything. I can't remember ever feeling that good didn't matter if asphalt was getting picked out of a wound in my foot. Absolute euphoria that I will never forget. Scary how effective that stuff is. Waking up and realizing I no longer have to work anymore. After I got my first job, I would wake up early in a panic, then think, oh wait, all I have to do is go to work. No homework or studying. Just wake up, go to work, come home and enjoy. But now I'm like, work again today. Sigh, I like my work, but the fact that I have to do it is a bummer. Still, I'm thankful for it. I graduated from university a decade ago and still occasionally get a sudden panic about homework. It's fleeting, and nearly immediate relief when I remember, just like you said, but I don't think it's ever going away at this point. Why is that? I retired. The shower and bed after camping for 4 days at a music festival. Pro tip, always wash your sheets before you leave for the fest. That way you get to sleep on nice soft bed with clean sheets. Australian slang for something or someone who is absolutely putrid is festy. This comment makes me wonder if it started from festivals. Waking up and realizing there's no work / school today and going back to sleep. Especially snow days. Snow days are pretty much non-existent now. Edit, I meant at least in my experience. Growing up we had snow days if we got an insane amount of snow that couldn't be cleared by the time the buses needed to run and / or if temperatures were too low. Now where I live, technology has made it so that we can still have school at home despite the weather. This one is kind of gross. FYI, I got surgery to fix a broken nose so I could breathe better. This involved having my nose packed with packing, essentially tampons, for a few weeks. It wasn't the removal of the packing that was amazing, it was the first time I blew my nose shortly after. It felt like a half cup of mucus was pulled directly from my brain and there was a golf ball sized result in the tissue. The best feeling I ever experienced was directly after that, where breathing through my nose was so incredibly easy I felt like a superhuman who conditioned in the Andes for months of something. I laughed with excitement. Yes, I had the same thing, a septorrhioplasty. Having all that gauze packed up inside my sinuses for days and days. The guy gets me to hold a dish under my chin, starts pulling what seems like yards and yards of bloody gauze out of each nostril. Tears were streaming down my face. I did not care one bit. Oh, such a relief. Had the same procedure, but they had me put on a big apron with sleeves on that same plastic-backed absorbent they use for the bib at the dentist. I looked at that thing and thought no good can come from this as I was putting it on. Surgeon yanked that packing out like he was trying to start a lawnmower and a flood on blood snot came rushing out of my nose. Both the worst and best feeling in the world from that. Best feeling was when the ent took the mother of all tweezers and yanked out the biggest booger I've ever seen from somewhere behind my eyeballs. Huge crush on this lady I worked with. Same company, but different locations, but we would see each other once or twice a week when our duties overlapped. I got the vibe that she was interested in me as well, but I never acted on it. There was a retirement party at a local bar, and she mentioned that she was going to be there. I nursed 2 beers for 3 hours on the chance she would show up, because I didn't want to be hammered like our colleagues. She arrives at 11:30, walks straight over to where we are sitting, and puts her arm around my waist. Boom. Been together for 16 years. AP. This makes me happy. Standing by raging bonfire after I fell into a MTN stream in the dead of winter. I read this fast and thought you said standing with a raging boner at a bonfire. What a coincidence, my greatest pleasure was standing in a MNT stream after I fell into a bonfire in the dead of summer. I have an extremely rare, maybe 100 in the US, genetic anomaly that makes susceptible to growing GI tract and other cancers. I just had my 45th surgery, my younger sister has had 70. It's not the aesthesia I enjoy, but the pre-aesthesia drugs they give you in the waiting bed, while under warmed-up blankets. Hours of near bliss and conscious to enjoy it. Gotta look at the sunny side, right? Edit, I didn't expect this kind of response. I just told about the surgeries so PPL would understand that I really know how the pre-surgery drugs feel and appreciate them. Wasn't expecting, or looking for it, sympathy, but thanks for all the great comments, even the guy that said I should just die already and stop burdening the healthcare system. I'll try to answer questions. Thanks for an unexpectedly engaging evening, Redditors. 45 surgeries. Oh gosh, so would that once every few months. Most since I turned 33, but my first was at 6 years old. I'm 53 now, had 5 in the last 13 months including 1/3 of my left lung removed. I will probably get a kidney out this year. When school's cancelled for the day and you're half asleep and overhear your mother tell your sister not to wake you up because school's out. Used to leave a smile on my face before snuggling back into my covers. Damn, especially when it's raining or snowing that day. Not school related, but you said raining and I thought of yesterday. I walked my dog, went to the gym, showered, ran some errands, picked up some lunch and went home. Right when I was parking it started raining hard. I had that feeling of already getting a bunch done and nothing else to do the rest of the day. Then I got to relax and eat and listen to the rain. Perfect. Taking a shit in my own bathroom after a long vacation. Almost brings a tear to my eye just thinking about it. It usually brings a tear to my eye cause it's so large. I have a hard time shitting outside my own home. My first poop after getting my appendix out. Didn't poop for 8 days and when I finally did it was fantastic. I still think about it and smile. Edit, thank you for the awards, kind strangers. I'll be reliving this great poop all day now. I was on opiates after my shoulder surgery and didn't shit for 3 days. After the head popped through like 2 to 3 feet of semi-liquid shit blasted out. I have never felt relief like that since. Laughing at it being described by length. One of those bathroom experiences where you walk out a changed person. As if the old you faded away and a new better you rose from the ashes. The world brighter, the air more crisp, and a levity that words fail to describe. Edit, thank you kind Redditor for the award. Of course this would be the comment that gets gold. Edit 2, thank you all for the replies and poop/Phoenix related replies. I now must wonder why this is my most upvoted thing on Reddit. Getting my first paycheck after 4 years of just making enough and a year of COVID out of work and getting a job that pay more than I've ever had experienced. Having just something else than a negative number at the end of the month for maybe the first time in 5 years. That. Congrats. So glad for you. It's so demoralizing to work and feel dread and doom on payday. Edit, demoralizing is a bit of an understatement, since your very life depends on your livelihood. I had a dream that I was a toaster. I woke with a feeling of anticipation. Then I made toast with pure concentration. Afterwards I was entirely fulfilled, having accomplished the ultimate purpose of my existence. You win. Nobody will ever understand this, but you do, you buddy. You make that toast. After consulting 3 high-powered attorneys about my fiance's citizenship case, and being told they wouldn't take it BC it was impossible to win, I, a layperson, spent a week, night and day, studying the law and putting together 125 pages document, received in the mail that he won the case and got his citizenship in the US. Edit, thank you for the support and awards. I'm not going to answer the PMs asking for legal advice or the ones threatening to try to dox me and get me charged with felonies. Kick ass. Now that's high-powered. Thanks. We sent a picture of him with his citizenship certificate to the biggest attorney and they were shocked. I followed it up a copy of my resume in case they were hiring lol. Immediately after giving birth, like right when she came out, all the pressure and heaviness in my stomach went away immediately and it was the best feeling. Going from being stretched out, bloated, with a baby pushing on your organs to totally empty was a huge relief to me. Edit, yes it is like taking a huge shit except 1000x more relieving. Also the superwoman feeling after is a close second to this feeling. Then the shower when you get home. I'm glad it wasn't just me. My husband thought I'd lost my mind when I was taking giant steps around the hospital room an hour after giving birth saying look how many activities I can do now. This is amazing. Such a good feeling. So much room for activities. My wife was holding our daughter after her 8 hours of pushing labor and, with the most genuine and earnest expression any human being is capable of, tells me, I think I could run a marathon right now. My mother and I both did a double take and laughed at what we took to be a joke. My wife deadpanned me and insisted she could run a marathon right now, just let her unhook her for, she is a registered nurse, and she would show us how ready to go she was. I reminded her that she was on some impressive drugs administered by highly trained and skilled staff, and that what she was really feeling was pleasantly high on these drugs and holding her newborn baby. My mother backed me up, and thankfully my wife didn't try to prove anything. That night as she shuffled to and from the bathroom, she admitted she was maybe a little less recovered from pushing an entire human being out of her than she at first believed.